Hello, friends. I'm going to talk about the essence of Hinduism. I live in the West. I've been living here for last 20 years. However, my background is that I was born and raised in India, uh, and I'm a meditator for last 30 years. So, because of my practice and the inquiry that I try, which is part of the practice, I have read a lot of scriptures and lots of them, in fact, for years and years together, just trying to understand which could help my practice. Because I have been living in the West, I live in US, so there are a lot of people, my friends at work, colleagues, and people I hang out with. Sometimes they ask many things about trying to understand what happens in India, why people do this, why people do that. Most of the Hindu practices are a little bit uh, strange for people who are not exposed from the West or from outsiders. Like most of the belief systems, as we know, they have very simple practices, right? They have set of commandments, they have set of belief systems, which is very simple, very easy to understand and follow. And when somebody tries to understand Hinduism, the difficulty is that it almost has a library of books, vast library of books, and one could easily get lost trying to get through all of them. So let me make an attempt and try to explain to you the essence. In essence, Hinduism is very, very simple. So I can give you four basic things that makes the whole story, right? And this is all in one of our sacred scriptures called Isa Upanishad, and which is most ancient and most profound. The first thing that Hindus believe is that everything is divine. The known, anything that you can experience through your senses, that anything that you can experience, uh, and anything which is transcendent. Also, everything is divine. There's nothing which is undivine, and that is one of the reasons why you may have seen that people worship, Hindus worship sometimes mountains, sometimes rivers, this, that, all kinds of practices are there. But Hindus essentially believe everything is divine. The universe is divine, you are divine, everything is divine, and there is nothing which is not divine. So that's the first principle. The second one is that the Hinduism believes in a life, a long life. In fact, this is something that's quoted in one of the scriptures, that everyone must aspire to live for 100 years with full vitality by doing work and not otherwise. That means the expectation is that the commandments or the essential principle is that everybody must aspire to lead a long life, which is almost like 100 years, by doing work. That means you have to keep your physical body healthy by doing all kinds of asanas, your mind healthy through meditation, having right kind of food, exercise, balance. So the essence would be you should be doing everything right so that your body, mind, emotions, everything stays healthy for a long period of time. Okay. Number three is that it considers there are two sets of laws that governs everything. One is the laws of matter, the other is laws of spirit. Okay, so it calls one avidya, the other one it calls vidya. So it says by following the laws of matter, one could avoid death. That means essentially it says if you want to lead a comfortable life of physical comfort and everything, you have to follow the laws of matter, which means whether it's health sciences, astronomy, physics, chemistry, biology, whatever it is. In ancient Hindu texts, there are the algebra, there is geometry, there is astronomy, there are all kinds of stuff. They said you have to follow all the laws of matter because everything is driven by laws. There's nothing here at random. By following the laws of matter, you could have a comfortable life. Okay. Then there is another law, saying by following the law of spirit, you can realize immortality. You can realize that you are immortal being. you are not subject to death when your body dies. So that means you can follow the spiritual laws, and spiritual laws can be followed by various yogic discipline. One of them could be meditation and purification of the mind, uh, trying to realize your own consciousness, all kinds of stuff, right? So there is a set of rules that governs that also, which is called the laws of spirit. So by following the laws of spirit, you can realize that you are an immortal being and you are not subjected to the birth and death. Okay, even the body is born and body will die, you as a being continue to live on. So that's the next set of rules. So this is like, if you take everything into account, this is kind of the core of essence of Hinduism. So let's try to talk a little bit about the first one. It says that everything is divine. Anything that you can experience or transcendent is divine. But at the same point in time, it also goes on to say that, but if you want to realize the divine, you can realize the divine within yourself, within your heart. And there are many techniques provided to realize the divine. You can't divine it outside. You can only realize it, you can establish your own connection, you can realize the divine within. And the practices or methods are called yoga. Right? So that is the first thing. Even though it talks about everything is divine, everything that you can experience or transcendent, everything that you experience in the state of awakened state, in the dream state, in deep sleep, or transcendent, in all four states, whatever you experience is all divine. However, the same divine, if you want to realize or establish a connection, that connection can be established only through your heart. Right? And that is why Hindus practice yoga, because they want to realize divine. They don't try to go it outside. Even the outside, you can see a lot of people do various kinds of worships, but those are really more of celebrations and stuff like that. But when somebody tries to realize the divine, they always try to get into meditation or yoga practices to realize the divine within them. So that clarifies what Hinduism is all about. You must have seen that people worship different deities, and you will say why somebody is worshipping Ganpati, somebody is worshipping Shivji, somebody is Krishna, somebody is worshipping somebody else, somebody is worshipping a mountain, somebody is worshipping a river. Those are the set of practices that people do to awaken some kind of a devotion. There are many people who are devotional by nature, and they want to awaken their devotion by establishing connection with one of the deities, and when they reach a certain point in their devotion, then they try to turn within themselves and try to realize the divinity within them. So just like you must have seen a little kid when you want to send him to the school, initially it's a play school where the child has to get used to it, and after a point in time then he gets into the syllabus. The same way, this is how. So whatever you see, all the celebrations, all the worships, all the various rituals that Hindus do, these are all part of it, right? But they all know that in essence, if you want to realize, when somebody becomes serious to realize divine, they know it can be done within themselves. And as I already established, Hindus believe that everybody must aspire to have a long life through physical exercise, good food. That is why Hinduism has all kinds of yoga exercises, breathing exercises. The dietary is very, very clear what you should eat, what you should not eat, what has more energy, what has less energy. There's a whole field which is called Ayurveda. Similarly, Hindus believe that everything is driven by laws. There is nothing is random, whether it is matter, it is spirit, everything has laws. So first of all, one must try to understand the laws by studying the laws, and once one have understood the laws, then one has to follow the law to keep their body and mind and emotions healthy. Also, one can follow the same set of spiritual laws by gaining realizing his own immortality. So that way there is no fear of death. And once one realizes the one is divine, one essence is divinity, and one is immortal, then the fear of death drops away, and one is in a state of permanent peace. I hope I could clarify some of this stuff, and whatever I have said, these are all from the scriptures, from the most ancient, most revered scriptures of Hinduism. But in essence, Hinduism is this. The rest is all various abstractions of that, right? The practices and rituals, cultures, stuff like that. But in essence, this is all. Okay, I hope I could clarify it. Thank you all.